I think we all saw the news about Bronny James.
Yep.
Yeah.
USC is supposed to be the school to be at this year.
Yeah.
Their top basketball recruit went down with cardiac arrest, right?
Yeah.
Monday.
It's crazy.
No, I saw the report today that he's back home recovering and everything. But what's your guys' take on that, man? I know the sports industry in general, there's been a lot of freak things happen over the last couple of years.
Yeah. It's when I first saw it, I thought of it a couple different ways because everybody knows, like, if you talk to me about LeBron through the years, like, I'm not the biggest LeBron fan.
Neither am I. I'm a Lakers fan.
Yeah, but like I didn't even like. I'm always on Twitter, and I saw people's like first takes. They're like, "Well, I don't really like LeBron," but and like I didn't even think like that at first. At first, my first thought is I just thought of Bronny as like, what if that was my son, and he's going to school. He's a young, in his prime athlete, and just has some like major medical condition all of a sudden. Like, that's scary, super scary. I wouldn't even know how to react. If I'm LeBron, I wouldn't know how to react. I wouldn't know what to do. I'm scared. You can't look scared. So like, it was kind of crazy. It kind of like, I don't know. I reflected on my own parenthood, I guess.
It takes looking at it as a parent and trying to put yourself in like LeBron's shoes or
right.
wife's shoes or something like that. It's like it takes the fame out of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
The being a celebrity or an icon, whatever you want to call it, it takes that out of it. It's like it makes you realize, like, man, they're human too.
Yeah.
I mean, the best thing was that we got the news later when they already knew he was okay, right? So you didn't have that period of like speculation.
Right.
But once you get past the initial thing, my first thought was wondering if it was going to cause LeBron to consider retiring, because like he's already kind of toted that line a little bit. And I kind of put myself in his shoes, like with my son, and I'd be like if I've already accomplished all of this, like I know the goal is to play with him and all of this, but that changes your whole perspective on it, right? Yeah. And that was one of my first things I thought, like, is he gonna just be like, you know what, it ain't worth it no more. Let's go worry about this.
I'll hit you guys with a curveball, man. And this is the thought I had in my mind. You know, I think we all play sports growing up, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, when you're so dedicated to a sport and you feel like you got a parent that's there that's dedicated as much as you are because it's something that they did, whether they're trying to live out their childhood dreams through you, and they're pushing you, you think that thought crosses your mind. It's like, man, am I pushing, or that thought may have crossed LeBron's mind, am I pushing my child to this point where this happened to him? Yeah,
I mean, possibly. Like, I don't think there's anything off the table. Where you talked about retirement, you talked about he's blaming himself. As a parent, I don't think anything's off the table. I think you're in that situation, your mind probably just races. You're probably all over the place thinking all these different things. Is it my fault? Am I pushing him too hard? Should I just retire? You know, I should focus on him. What am I doing with my life? Like, I just need to be home with my kids. What if he doesn't make it? Like, in that first moment, like, what? Like, your brain's everywhere. It's scary. That's it.
And I asked that question because I think you kind of alluded to it, was like, man, like, should I retire? Is he trying to do this because he sees me trying to still excel at 40 plus years old? You know?
Right.
Is he seeing me push myself and I'm pushing him? Is that maybe I should step away from the game?
I mean, this is just like outsider perspective, right? I don't think LeBron, like, if I imagine LeBron as a parent, I don't see him as somebody who puts a lot of pressure on his kids, right? Like, we don't know, but it doesn't seem like it. It seems like they're just naturally, like, I feel like they see him and they're like, yeah, we want to be this, and then they're that talented, and he just is able to provide them whatever they need to help get them better. But I don't view him as somebody, like, I don't view him as like the Williams dad or Tiger's dad,
right,
like that kind of parent, right?
I don't know, man. I'll counter that because I watched the high school summer league that his son plays in, that Bryce plays in,
right?
And he coached it. Him and Rajon Rondo coached it. And I tell you what, they weren't letting up on them boys.
But that's different. That's in the moment, though, right? That's as a coach. It could be different off the court.
Yeah,
true.
You could be right. Like I said, this outsider, he could be one of those parents where it's like, look, this is how I'm gonna be with you. I'm gonna be hard on you, whatever.
Right.
But I don't know. What you think?
No, I agree. I you don't know him off the court. I see his persona. Obviously, you could tell he's a killer. He's a competitor. Like, he clearly puts in the work for himself. If I'm assuming things, I assume he probably takes a little bit of a like, you make the choice. I'm not going to put the pressure on you to make the choice. But if you make the choice, then you're going to commit to it. Like, I think that's probably the mindset. Like, that's why you see him coaching the game. He's all in. Like, he's like, okay, this is what we're doing. If you want to excel, this is what you have to do to excel. Now, maybe they get home and he's not harping on things that were happening on the court at home. You don't know.
Try to leave basketball to basketball,
Right.
and when we're at home, it's about family.
Right. We're speculating. I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
But
I think it's a tough situation to be in as a parent. I know I got kids, you got kids.
Mhm.
I didn't know if you got kids or not. So we all got kids. So you think about what you would do as a parent in that situation, whether it's sports related or not. It's tough.
Yeah. Hopefully, I mean, I'm sure we all feel the same way. Hopefully, Bronny, I'm sure he wants to continue to play.
I'm assuming
once he gets past the the shock of what happened, I'm assuming he's going to continue to play as long as it's not like a Chris Bosh situation,
right.
where he's got the blood clots or something like that. I'm assuming he's going to go back to playing. Hopefully, he's able to. Has a good career. Never happens anything like this again.
That's another thing too. Right now, like, you don't really know what happened. They haven't really, and
There's
they
no
don't have
details.
to.
Like DeMar Hamlin, we saw it.
Right.
Right.
Like we all were at home watching that Thursday night football game when it happened.
And even then, we were all like,
That was
what?
crazy.
Like, what happened?
And like I'm pretty sure we all were on our phones the
Oh,
next
we
2
were-
days. We're like, man, where's the updates?
That was the weirdest night of our
Yeah,
lives.
we were actually at a bar. We weren't even watching the game. We were watching the Pels game. I think they were
Yep.
happening at the same time.
It was the day. So that day, Tulane won the Cotton Bowl, so we went out
Yeah.
and went watch the Pels.
Go Green Wave.
Yep, there you go.
Roll wave.
And then Zion got hurt,
Yeah.
and then right after DeMar Hamlin happened, it was a day.
Yeah, but it was crazy because nobody was actually watching the football game in the bar we were at because it was a Pelicans party. And then slowly but surely, you see everybody kind of looking around like, did this dude just die on the field? Like, it was like the most I've never been in a bar that was loud, and then just all of a sudden it was just like.
Try being in a bar the day Kobe Bryant passed away.
I was in the middle.
Walked out of a bar and cried.
I was in the middle of my son's baptism,
Oh, that's crazy.
and we're sitting in the front row, they're doing the whole thing. My uncle from behind me whispered, he's like, "Hey, Kobe died," and like in the church in the middle of baptism, I'm like,
Yeah.
"Bryant, like what?"
Like, you don't want to believe it.
Right.
I didn't believe it. I was in a group chat. Tell me this is a lie, and they were like, they posted the article, and I was like, nah, that's bull. Like, Kobe didn't die. Like, what are you talking about? And then I started going through Twitter, and I'm like, I start realizing, and I'm like, damn, like this shit is crazy.
I was shook, man. I got to put this out there just so you know how hard it hit me. It's anybody can tell you anything about me. I'm a diehard Lakers fan. My generation. This guy's a little older than me. I think you're a little older than me. My generation, I grew up on Kobe Bryant. A lot of people grew up on Jordan, and the younger generation, it's all about LeBron and
Right.
KD and
Steph.
I think Brandon Matthews said that it was PG was his favorite player, or
Oh,
he's the GOAT,
yeah.
But I grew up a Kobe Bryant fan. I got autographed shoes by him, met him a couple times. My room is Kobe,
Isn't your daughter's middle name Kobe?
My youngest, her middle name's not Kobe, but my youngest, we decided that if we had a boy, his name was going to be his name was going to be Kobe Bean Haynes. We're just going to take Kobe's first and middle name, And we ended up having a girl, and my wife came up with the name Colvin. So anytime we say her name, a lot of our family and friends that know me, they reference it back to Kobe. So
Love that.
it hit me pretty hard.
Yeah.
Hit me pretty hard. I still got videos of me meeting him, getting autographs. That was a tough one for me.
Yeah. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I have no words still.
No.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah. And then there was the whole thing afterwards where it's like, who was there with him? Who was?
Yeah, they were trying to figure out who was on the helicopter.
Rick Fox was dead for a minute there. Like, what a.
And that's the bad thing about the media, man. The media changes the narrative so much.
Yeah.
And it's like you can't really believe anything. Like, I didn't want to believe anything about Bronny until I saw LeBron post something.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the media takes a massive control of us nowadays.
Oh, they do.
Yep.
They absolutely do.
It's good and it's bad.
It's well, it's bad because there's a lot of people out there that don't question things. Not to go down the rabbit hole of like conspiracies or any of that, or questioning the media, because then you get into a whole political conversation. We don't have to do that. But like, like there's a lot of people in this world just take a side and then believe whatever that side has to say and never question it.
Yep.
And it's just like, come on, man. Like, come on. I don't know. I question everything. I'm one of those people.
Yeah.